has like a face,
Yeah.
as an actor. But for Deadpool, I feel like they could just like write in like he came to the MCU. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope
Because they can't get rid of Ryan
I hope they
Reynolds.
give some sort of teaser in the next Deadpool movie. Obviously, it's been done filming for a while.
You know what they could do is just have him show up and then make fun of the fact that he used to be in Fox movies.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's in Disney movies.
Yeah.
They
could have a lot of fun with it.
He can be a different Deadpool, but still acted by Ryan Reynolds, but still be Deadpool.
Right.
Not a different Deadpool. You know what I mean, right? Like
Yes.
a different universe Deadpool.
A different spin on his character. And yeah, I've heard people joke about how they should let him swear, just bleep
it
him.
out. And I
think
don't
that'd be
think
funny.
like Disney's against that because I think some of the Marvel movies have had dark themes and they've had kind of iffy,
Actually, I don't know if there's been a single F-bomb in a Marvel movie. There's been like your other swears, but I don't think. Thinking back, I can't think of a single time.
Because it's not necessary in the way, but then maybe they'll do it. I think Disney has that option now. They're not like they have so much property now. They're not going to be the family friendly label forever. They own it. Like I said, they own Alien. They can't not swear in Alien.
Yeah, that's true. And it remains to be seen what they're going to do with the Alien franchise because
I feel like it's
Alien Covenant, that was the latest one.
Yeah,
it didn't get rave reviews. I don't believe
it was okay. It was very okay. But I think Fantastic Four will show up first.
Yeah, and just to play devil's advocate, is this deal good for Hollywood, do you think?
No.
But from a fan's perspective...
It's good for a fan, but it's not good for Hollywood.
From a fan's perspective, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But
it's not good for
with Hollywood,
they just lost it's the Big Five now. It's no longer the Big Six.
Yeah.
The Big Six film studios is now... There's only five.
What do we have? We have Disney,
Universal, Warner Brothers, Fox.
There's just Paramount.
Oh, Sony,
and Paramount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and Disney just acquired one of them.
And who knows? Like Paramount is probably the smallest one. Not saying Paramount's next, but like if Disney bought something,
Sony seems to just be grasping at straws at this point and holding on
their
by
new
string.
Miles Morales Spider-Man trailer. Yeah. Like. It looks good, but like
I don't think it's gonna make a ton of money.
No, their Spider-Verse sounds bad, but I hope it crashes and burns because to take Venom away from Spider-Man is like the worst thing they could possibly do.
Right. Just
that kind of gets off topic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking back to this deal and the competition. I said competition breeds cash. Competition is good.
Yeah, it's good.
When DC movies get released and they do well, executives at Marvel don't get upset because it's good for the genre.
Yeah, because the superhero genre is like lasting.
And so it's good to have like multiple movies coming out from different studios and such. And yes, they're not going to get rid of 20th Century Fox, right? You will still hear the fanfare.
You will still hear the fanfare. It's going to be like...
It's just like they're now a sub-family before they were one of the big families.
So you're not going to see like... If there's an X-Men movie under the MCU, you're not going to see the Fox thing there. You're going to see the Marvel Studios logo. But if they release, say, another Alien movie, you most likely will still see the Fox.
I think... Yeah, you're right in that sense. I think...
Like, characters will move, but like...
They have all these properties, and they can choose which...
Yeah. Unless that's like something when they buy it they can't, but I doubt it.
So
they're buying it.
In terms of what it means for Hollywood, I think ultimately it hurts diversity among studios, but
because there's one less place to go now.
It's hard as a fan not to be very excited by these possibilities.
For just like the X-Men and Fantastic Four alone, but like to think about what are they gonna do with like the Simpsons. Or, like, do they own Family Guy now? Like, if they own Fox Broadcasting?
I mean, what they have in the deal is kind of... I don't want to say up in the air. It's just... There's a lot of moving pieces to it.
Yeah. And, not everything's
It's a laundry list of properties that they have, so...
Like, anything Fox has ever made. Oh, another thing. They now own the rights to the original trilogy. Not the original trilogy. Officially, they have The New Hope.
Yeah.
So they could, if they wanted to, release the original editions on Blu-ray. That'd make a lot of money.
Yeah, and I believe they would because, like, personally, I don't know if I care enough to just spend money on movies that I already have with just slight alterations.
I feel like I'd buy the.
But it would make a significant amount of money. Any final thoughts on the official news that Disney has acquired 20th Century Fox?
exciting for fans, but it could be devastating for Hollywood.
Yeah,
we'll
for
see
sure.
what happens in the future.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautious only in the sense of Hollywood's perspective. Optimistic in the sense of being a fan of film and a fan of the MCU, and just a fan of Disney's studio in general, because they don't release a lot of bad movies. So
yeah,
they
I think Disney has one of the cleanest track
Yeah,
records.
they could breathe new life into the Alien franchise, like you mentioned. This new Predator movie could turn out to set up a whole franchise there.
That is one thing, like franchise.
That's true.
I've gotten a little sick of it, to be honest. Some originality would be nice.
Originality is nice, but it's what makes the money, I guess.
Makes the money, that's all that matters.
All right, our next story, next official story, I guess, is we have some trailers released. We have 2 that we're going to talk about, and then we'll get into our Christmas movies. The first one I want to talk about is Sicario 2 Soldado. We just watched this trailer right before recording. I didn't even know that the trailer had come out until I saw a post on it earlier today. And this movie, starring Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin. No Emily Blunt in this one, I believe. I don't think she returned, because she wasn't in the trailer at all. They didn't mention her name. But the original Sicario got rave reviews, got 3 Oscar nominations, including Best Original Score, I believe, and Best Cinematography, yeah. And so this trailer looks...
It looks good. I haven't seen the original, but this makes me want to watch it so I can see this in theaters.
I really want to see the original, because I've heard it's a really good take on the whole like underground, like drugs and stuff like that, and seeing it from like a different perspective is what I hear. And so I'm really excited to see the first one, and this one looks really good. I mean, just from
the trailer's really well put together, I think.
You were mentioning about the franchise. While this one is, yes, we're getting a sequel, it is still, for the most part, an original property.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's telling a story continuously, but when you have just like for the example, the Alien movies, like they're telling a story, but it seems very disconnected. They're just making money with the Alien name.
That makes sense.
But this looks good. No, this looks very cool. It's original ideas. Yeah. Another thing, like John Wick, those 2 movies are standalone by themselves, really good, and they also tell a story.
Right, and so that's why I this trailer didn't sell me on seeing it in theaters, because I kind of just pick and choose what I go to see. But I feel like going back and watching the original Sicario could get me excited, or just more trailers like this, more marketing campaign. I'm a fan of Benicio del Toro. He's in The Last Jedi. A lot of people didn't like his character, which I strongly disagree with. I thought he was a fantastic character. In his performance in The Last Jedi, obviously it was limited due to his amount of screen time, but he's a fantastic actor, and we see him in the MCU as the Collector.
Yep.
And so seeing him in this movie, where he gets to really sink his teeth into a role, which he seems to enjoy playing, because he came back and Emily Blunt didn't. Maybe I believe Emily Blunt wasn't about her not wanting to. I think it was a scheduling conflict.
It usually is.
Something like
Stuff
that.
like that.
So I guess it makes sense. But anyways, this trailer was pretty good.
It looked
enjoyed
interesting.
It for the most part.
Yeah.
All right, our next trailer is Ocean's 8. Have you seen the Ocean's 8 trailer? I'll talk for a little bit about it.
I can assume what it's kind of like.
So, at first, watching this trailer, I was interested, because I'm not vastly familiar with the Ocean's movies. I know we got George Clooney and Matt Damon, and I think Brad Pitt's in them too. Yeah. It was one of the first all-star action casts before the Expendables.
They're also
and stuff
reboots.
like that. They are.
Yeah.
Really?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Those were the original Ocean's movies.
We had Ocean's 11 and 12, I believe. They made 2.
Yeah.
And so this one's called Ocean's 8.
They're making 13 too.
They might be. I'm not sure. I think whatever studio is releasing them, they recently just, I guess, got high on the Ocean's properties again. So, anyways, this is part of the wave of all-female cast movies where they remake
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters for one, which is meant on the surface when there's backlash due to an all-female cast of a reboot. I feel like it's very unfair criticism.
Yeah.
Because one, you have not seen the movie, so your complaints are just blatantly sexist for one, and for two, like you're most likely going to see this movie if you're spending all this time complaining about it. That's what a lot of people did with Ghostbusters. They complained about it. They still saw it just to complain about it more. And going into movies like this, wanting to hate it, that's not what movies are. Movies are where we go to enjoy and experience.
That's something I've been like looking at recently. Like the film going people are very toxic.
Yeah,
and I hate that. Like,
because movies
this is like movies were like literally for enjoyment.
Movies have changed. Like now we're getting all philosophical, but it's a warranted discussion.
To go back like history stuff, like in like Great Depression time when they had like cereals and stuff, like that was a walk away from like a crappy time. Movies, but now people just take it for granted.
Movies were an escape. They were just get to put yourself in a world that you're not in, whether it be good, bad, happy or sad, whatever it may be. And now people have movies have bred fandoms now, which I think are a good thing for the most part. It's good to be all excited with your buddies to go see the next Marvel movie, but when people get so passionate like this and we start hating on movies just because of
it's not the same.
Just because of the precedent that has been set in the past, that's just not how it should be. And also, people complaining about an all-female cast of a reboot in the first place, it's not. Of course, people complain about reboots. Don't get me wrong, but people
I would have complained about a Ghostbusters reboot regardless of who was in it. It was unnecessary.
Right, and so I feel like the criticism is unwarranted. To get into the trailer a bit, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite now, but I'm not too intrigued by this movie, and it's based on the presentation. I will say that completely. I think the cast is really strong.
Who's in the movie?
Jennifer Aniston, I believe. Or, no, the woman from The Blind Side. I don't know why I mixed her up with Jennifer Aniston. Let me just pull up the cast really quick. But it's directed by Gary Ross. Sandra Bullock, my apologies. Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Mindy Kaling, Rihanna. Rihanna kind of came out of nowhere. Infamously in the Battleship movie.
Yeah. Battleship. Is this her first acting role since Battleship?
It's one of her first. I can go into her filmography real quick if she even has that. Yeah, she does have a filmography on her Wikipedia. She was in This Is the End and Annie and Valerian actually I remember seeing her in the trailer. But so what we got for a premise for this movie is this team of like 8 women are leading a heist on Anne Hathaway's character, who has a necklace that is worth $100 million, I believe. And it's an interesting. I mean, I'm a sucker for a heist movie. I love heist movies, but I just feel they talk about getting the gang back together. So were they all bank robbers together in the past, and they're all living normal lives? Like that's where I get confused. But your 2 front women of Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett, both Academy Award nominees, if not winners, I believe.
Yeah, she was just in Thor, right? Cate Blanchett?
Yeah, she played Hela in Thor. Sandra Bullock nominated. Let's see. I believe she was nominated for The Blind Side. She has a whole list of nominations and awards. Point is, you have 2 heavily decorated actresses leading your cast. Anne Hathaway is your main antagonist, if you will.
Yeah, and she's another heavy hitter.
She's another heavy hitter for sure. But
then you have Mindy Kaling,
it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like with Rihanna in this movie, she kind of stuck out like a sore thumb in the trailer. I'm not gonna lie, in terms of her acting, because she's not a great actress. She's a singer firsthand. And I do know, I remember seeing a rumor, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but Matt Damon's supposed to cameo in this movie. So it's supposed to be, I mean, I don't want to call it a connected universe, because obviously it's
the Ocean's universe.
The OCU. My God. But
that's what everyone wants, franchise.
But I guess it's cool to see characters from the original Ocean's movie. Not the original. The reboot. The reboot of earlier this century. Yeah. But this trailer didn't really blow me away. I thought the music in it was kind of very low-key, and I thought if you wanted to build it up, even if you want to go a little too generic, change up the music a bit.
I'm sure it's going to make money because of the name on it and the actresses' names, but I the movie's probably gonna be like mediocre.